Hi everyone, it's Budik with McEnearney Associates back for my third video update on what's happening in the DMV real estate market in the wake of coronavirus. In terms of what's happening in the market, what we're seeing right now is having a vacant property is almost seen as advantageous over the ones that are currently occupied. We're seeing our renters and potential buyers are more willing to go into properties where no one's there, as opposed to ones that are still having people living in it. So that's what is getting, I think, greater showings and also just a greater willingness from people. In terms of our clients who are having listings on the market right now, there's definitely a limited amount of showing time. For one client in particular, a lot of the properties we're wanting to see, there's only a 2-hour window where we're able to make an appointment to go in, and our showings are being restricted to just the individuals who would be the purchasers. So if they have the kids in tows, they're asking that the kids stay in the car. So I'm actually staying outside with my clients' kids while they go inside. It is a little challenging because I'm not able to walk through the property with them side by side as I usually would do and point out different things that I notice or look for. I can do it one at a time. I can go in with one client, come back out, and then go back in with the other client, if it's a couple that I'm serving, but we can't all go through together. They're really limiting a lot of showings to just 2 people at a time, and definitely people over the ages of 18. So we can't bring in the kids. We're not bringing in grandma or anyone else who might be on tour with us. It's just the buyers or the renters themselves. For those clients who are having the listings on the market, I totally get it. And, we just, when you go in, you want to touch and you want to look at everything. And, that does make a lot of people nervous. So if our clients are wanting us to pull their properties off the market and wait until they're vacant, that's what we're doing. But if they're still wanting them to be shown, we are limiting the amount of time people can go in there. We're providing gloves, we're providing shoe covers, hand sanitizers, all that sort of thing, so that we're just limiting what everyone's touching. We're asking that all the lights and closets be open before we come in, so we don't have to touch anything. So just everything that we can do that limits our exposure and to how long we're in there at once. But I think it should be noticed too, that the buyers who are out there now, they're serious. They know the risk. And not only with being out in an environment that could be compromised, but just on the timing of everything. And, they feel secure with their jobs. They're not going to be laid off. They know the risk and they're ready to go. So you can be sure, that the buyers are out there today are, they're good. They're nice and solid and ready to go. Or at least I know I can speak for my clients, and, we're ready to rock and roll. So we're just, waiting to find the right house. Another issue we're facing are clients who have listing in condos, and let's say the condo needs some work done before we go in and take pictures or put it on the market. There are some buildings out there that aren't letting anyone in to the building besides the residents themselves. So we just have to, wait in a bit of a holding pattern until that ban is lifted, and we can send this to contractors to update the unit and then send the photographers in, let alone then we can go into. So that's kind of what's going on for condo buildings. One thing I wanted to talk about this week was settlements for buyers. I don't think I had mentioned it before, but I wanted to bring it up this week. If you haven't already been met or introduced to my colleague, Jeff Nowak, one of the co-founders and the lead attorney over at Cobalt Settlement in Arlington, I spoke to Jeff a few weeks ago when this all started, and just to ask how, meeting in person was affecting the settlement side of business. And what he brought up was a couple really interesting points I wanted to share with you. I'm going to link to his video as well. And just that there are a lot of settlement companies out there offering or advertising at least remote or drive-through settlements. And that is the case, but it's a little misleading. The only people who don't have to sign in person with pen to paper are sellers or all cash buyers. If you are using a mortgage to purchase a property, the lenders will not take an electronic signature as sufficient because they're concerned that their investors will not purchase the loan on the secondary market. If it's just an electronic signature, there has to be a wet signature. And so what Jeff is doing is that in lieu of taking, an hour time in person at the settlement table to explain every document, he's getting the package earlier out to the clients so they can go over it together online via a Zoom or Skype call. And then when they come in person, all of the forms are already just laid out with all the signature blocks marked kind of in an assembly style, and then the clients just go through, sign and initial everything, and leave. So they're done in 5 minutes, and then Jeff comes by after they're done and notarizes and signs everything. So that's what they're doing on their end, but there still is this requirement for buyers with mortgages. They have to go in person to sign the documents. Something else I wanted to point out that I thought was interesting to me is that we're all working from home now, and some clients may be under the impression, because I'm at home as opposed to work, even though I'm working from the exact same computer, my laptop, people may not realize that and think that if they get an email from me that looks a little different, maybe it's still from me because I'm working from home, when in reality, it could be a fraudulent email. So it's really important that everyone stays vigilant and looks out for anything that might look a little different. It's still just me. I don't have an assistant or anyone else working for me. And so if you get anything that sounds different or that looks a little different than how I normally write or how my emails normally look, it's not from me. It's absolutely fraudulent. My emails look the exact same. I'm on the exact same laptop. My location is just different. So it's really important to still keep a lookout for those things. And I thought that was a really important point that he brought up, and I wanted to share that with you guys. In terms of how the market is doing, it's still doing surprisingly well. Over 1,000 homes went under contract last week for the week of April 5th through 11th. I'm just looking at my notes. It still resembles a 44% drop in the newly ratified contracts compared to the same week last year, but it's still a lot of homes. For all of the jurisdictions that we track, Northern Virginia, the amount of ratified contracts was down by 35%, and DC was down by almost 58%. Showing activity is down by almost 66%. And while showings have slowed, the market hasn't. There are still people out there, and it's really showing a remarkable amount of resilience. So, it's still moving along. It may have taken a bit of a slowdown, but it definitely has not stopped. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share with this week with you guys. I hope everyone is doing well, and stay safe. As always, reach out if you need anything. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much. Talk to you later. Bye.